Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmett. And I think the point of this little tiny audio that I really shouldn't be making, because we are at the end of the time lapse of Traci Braxton being a topic of conversation, because they are at the closing of her life via a funeral. So then people are just going to stop talking about her. But I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. It would be nice if we had somebody do a Photoshop analysis on the photo that is being used as evidence for Traci being sick. Now, I think most people, because they are just blind, they're just blind mentally and physically, they're blind. They're so used to seeing TV and they just accept what's on there. But when you become conscious, first of all, you have to have time to be conscious. That's a very big factor. You are not in a daily rut routine. That's part of the reason why you can become conscious. You become more observant. And obviously the other part is that, it's a spiritual awakening. Anyway, if you would just look at Traci's picture, that wedding picture, let me just try to go through a few points. This is going to be very short. Point number 1 is look at Traci's height. I don't know if you can Google how tall she is. Possibly you will not be able to Google that. However, if you look at photos of her and her husband, her husband's tall and she is equally tall. She's not a short woman. In the photo, she looks short. That is a strategy to make her look frail. Point number 2 is that what she is wearing, I wouldn't guess that she would wear that to a wedding. That is my opinion. However, she was coming out with a clothing line of summer dresses. And I saw a YouTube video that just showed like 2 seconds of her talking about it or showing off her dress and saying that she was saying, I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go out to this function and this is my and I'm wearing my signature, and this is my signature. But she didn't say collection. She just mentioned the dress briefly and she just said, and I'm going in my signature. So it wasn't a cute summer floral shoulderless dress. So I'm reasoning that was from her collection. However, that particular dress in the wedding photo doesn't seem to match what a mother-in-law would wear to a wedding. Point number 3, and this is where the sheeple are extremely blind. All you have to do is look at her right shoulder according to your vantage point, according to your viewpoint. Your right hand is going to be her right shoulder. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Your right hand is her right shoulder, so you're facing her like a mirror, okay? You can clearly see it's photoshopped. Her shoulder is it has a jagged edge to it. it gives it's an exaggeration of having a bony shoulder, but who has a bony shoulder? The point is that the picture was photoshopped. Her shoulder literally looks jagged, as in a triangle shape, up and down. That is contributing to her looking frail and thin, but nobody's looking at the picture to see that that's photoshopped, and that is a complete distortion, and it's not a real body. You know, your shoulder can never be like that. That's the point. Her other shoulder, and actually there's a distortion in the length of her shoulder as well. Now, we are so used to seeing pictures that we just believe pictures. Now, I would say I'm an amateur photographer, and I used to take pictures a lot. Before digital, I used to have I don't even know what you call the old-fashioned cameras, but a real film camera, okay? And with a real film camera, you have to actually know how to take a good picture. Because what you get on there, you can't change it later. Well, yeah, you can't change it later. So you need the right lighting, the right angle, and the right composition, because you cannot change it later. Now, what I see in that picture, her body looks distorted from her head. It completely doesn't go together. Now, I have an eye for art, beauty, photographs, and I can see that as plain as day. Most people, maybe they don't have an art eye, but they're also bombarded with so many images that they can't see what's fake. Now, I see the picture's fake. It's photoshopped. Her head is smaller. There's just something that you just know what's real and not real. Her head is photoshopped on a body, and it's made too small. And I felt the same way. I said the same thing for the Black Panther actor, whatever his name is. I don't know his name, okay? But I could clearly see that was also photoshopped. His head being bigger than his body, actually. His body was smaller than his head. I could see that was photoshopped. He didn't even have a neck. Anyway, put him aside. Traci's pictures are photoshopped. If we had somebody that cared enough and was skilled enough and had the resources to analyze it, you would be able to see that it's photoshopped. That she has dreads, that also is, now that I'm talking, have you ever seen Traci with dreads, blonde dreads? That right there can actually give weight to what I'm saying about it being photoshopped, because I want to say you can't fake dreads, but people can fake dreads, but Traci, I've never seen her wear dreads. The Hollywood people, usually these ladies, okay, these particular ladies, and their style is not dreads. Absolutely not. So, you know what? Sometimes as you're talking, you say things that you didn't know you were going to say. I wasn't planning to mention her dreads, but now I am. And for me, that gives weight to what I'm saying. It adds another factor to what I'm saying. Have you ever seen her wear dreads? Blonde dreads at that. And if that's her natural hair, those dreads took some time to grow like that. Now, if those dreads took some time to grow, then how do you explain her other looks prior to this wedding? She's talking on the phone with her sister. Is she wearing dreads? No. She's at a photo shoot. Is she wearing dreads? No. She's dancing with her husband. Is she wearing dreads? No. You know, this is a very big factor that I never even thought of before, and I'm not going to, I'm done talking now, and if you have something to say about it, you have something to counteract what I just said, write it in the comments, because I just pointed out 4 major things. Her height is too small, her shoulder is too crooked, the dress that she's wearing doesn't match the occasion, and her hairstyle has never been shown like that before. Dreads take some time to develop. So that ends another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmett, which is to be observant and don't fall for the okie doke of the media. Think for yourself, analyze, and, look at the patterns in celebrity deaths. That ends. And also the thing is, it's not even about, okay, there's a pattern, but on top of that, it's a well-known fact that by contract, these people have to make some choices and agreements that are high risk and that involve something very close to them to be taken away. That's factual. So, it's funny how so many people want to say, this is not a sacrifice, this is not a sacrifice. Well, tell me which one is. Which one is? Okay, if this one isn't, which one is? The end.
Shine bright like a diamond.